Good morning, everyone. It's Sasha. How you're doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. Hope as everyone is enjoying their Friday so far. It is early in the morning, break of dawning for some people, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for joining me today. Before I start, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new and smash a like on the video. If you can do that for me, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's Friday. We're like match day eve. It is match day eve. So we're literally 24 hours or a little bit more until Manchester United play again. Thank goodness we've had this international break, this international malarkey. God knows what it was for, but we finally got real football coming back, guys, which is fantastic. Let me read some of your comments, guys. Great to see you here, of course, guys. Good day, everyone. Good day, Sanjay. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Welcome back. I'm going to be listening to the show on my way back. Big up, everyone. Thank you, Sanjay. Wherever you listen to it, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, my friend. Hit the like button, folks. Hit the subscribe buttons as well. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Good morning, guys. Good morning, Kazi. Legend. So much. Thank you so much for joining me. Now, Manchester United are already in plans for the summer. They're already looking at bolstering their squad in the summer. And one of the players that have been high on Manchester United's radar within the last couple of years or so has been Sesko. Sesko, of course, of LB Leipzig, very talented striker. And you know what? I admire this striker. He's one of the best up-and-coming strikers in Europe, basically. And I felt we should have got him a while ago. I felt we should have signed him a while ago. And you know what? I'm really excited about this in regards to Manchester United and the noises around Sesko. Lots of respectable journalists have mentioned Sesko going to Manchester United. He is also wanted by Arsenal. So we have to be careful that we don't miss out on a player like this, because he's a goal scorer and he will score goals in the Premier League. He's got that physique. He's got that physical ability that, could cause trouble in the Premier League and could be a benefit to us if we get him through the door, of course. Good morning, Mark Elman. How you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the stream. So it looks like Ineos are looking at the striker position and also looking at the left back position as well. And the loans are being spoken about in regards to the January transfer window. Manchester United are looking to do some loans for the left back in particular, because we are very, very short on that position. Malacia has said to be almost ready, not quite ready, but you know what? We cannot rely on Malacia and we cannot rely on Luke Shaw, regardless if they're fit, they're deemed fit. I don't think we can rely on them. It's been too long now, too many games. I mean, I read a stat the other day that Luke Shaw has missed 300 games for Manchester United. That's like 5 seasons of football, guys. 5 seasons of football he's missed for Manchester United. You know, it's unacceptable. We do need to bring in another left back. And maybe if we do bring in another left back, you know what? Luke Shaw might miraculously start playing again. You never know, because you know what? His position will be at threat, of course, guys. Big up, Chow. Good morning, my friend. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. We need to ask him why he constantly picks Mainu week in and week out, leave Ugarte, Casemiro on the bench. Mainu's injured now, so Mainu won't be playing tomorrow. He'll be rested tomorrow. Ugarte had a knock. Obviously, had felt some tightness in his leg against Uruguay, so he will be fit. I don't think Ugarte will play either. I think tomorrow's. I will discuss what team he's going to pick later on Chatterbox today. I'm going to predict what team Erik ten Hag's going to pick later on today, guys. Forget Sesko, get Gyökeres. I know you love Gyökeres. Gyökeres. I like Sesko myself. I think he's a good player. I think Sesko's a goal scorer. And if we look at Sesko, let's go through Sesko and let's look at his stats, so to speak. I'm going to show you his stats. Let me just bring it up for you, and we'll make the decision and stuff like that. So basically, Sesko. Okay, let's go for Sesko. Let me get my little graphic up as well. It looks a lot nicer. There we go. So basically, Sesko is RB Leipzig striker. 21 years old only, Slovenian, quite tall, and he's 85 kilograms. 85 kilograms. Goodness me. Goodness, that's not too bad. At the end of the day, he is how tall is 194 centimeters? So how tall? It's about 6 foot, isn't it? Yeah, so that is 6 foot. He is 85 kilograms, which is quite hefty, of course, guys. He's a bit of a unit. He is a unit. So you know it'd be good for the Premier League if we're being totally honest with you guys. When you look at his record in the Bundesliga this season, he's got 2 goals in 6 appearances and 2 assists. So not too shabby. He's doing quite well this season as well. Quite consistent. 31 in 14 appearances. 14 goals in 31 appearances last season with 2 assists. So he's already got 2 assists this season. of course. So last season, the season before, so last season it was 31 appearances, 14, two assists, 571 ball actions, distance run 209.8, and penalties. No penalties. He doesn't score penalties. So that's another thing you've got to bear in mind. We could add 10, was it 5, 6, 7 goals onto his tally if he took penalties, of course, guys. His senior career, obviously, playing for Slovenia, which has 15 goals for Slovenia, guys. So, you know what? He's not doing too bad. It's 37 appearances and 15 goals for Slovenia. So he's not doing too bad. 16 goals in 37 appearances for RB Leipzig. So, and Red Bull Salzburg was 21 goals in 55. So, you know, he's part of the Red Bull club, of course. He's played it for the Red Bull teams, of course. So, yeah, he looks like he belongs to them, to be honest with you. He's quite adamant. Was it a motto? How do you say it? How do you say it? He is quite an asset to Red Bull, of course. Benjamin stats too, and so far this season, obviously, as I said, 2 goals, 2 assists, shots 9, shots per 0-0, penalties 0, penalty scores it, obviously, tackles 162, aerial duels 111, not too bad. That's good for the Premier League. He's had 1 foul, no yellow cards, so he's not prone to yellow cards and red cards, guys. And here we are. Manchester United are interested in RB Leipzig. Benjamin, obviously, like it forward. Benjamin Sesko, who is expected to depart the Bundesliga club next summer. Mail Online journalist Sami Mokbel has revealed the Slovenian international was monitored by several clubs across the continent in this summer, including Arsenal and Chelsea, but pinned a new deal to Leipzig until June. And let's not get it twisted that Arsenal are still interested in obviously Sesko, and we have to be careful. We have to be make sure that we don't lose out on this player, because he's a good player, in my opinion. He is a good player, and I think we should go after him. We need someone who's prolific. We need someone who's going to be there scoring goals, and he's young as well. Let's not forget that as well, guys. Good morning, David. How you doing, my friend? How you doing? Well, good morning, afternoon, evening. Got to go, Man United fans around the world. Like Goldbridge said last night, we all fans must support United tomorrow. The players should go out there, just play for the badge. We need 3 points. Absolutely, and that is what it's all about. And this is what I've been touching on for the last weeks. You know what I mean? If whether you're Eric Ten Hag in, you're Eric Ten Hag out, the most important thing you have to do as a fan is support the football club, guys. And I would say that passionately, because at the end of the day, whatever you want doesn't matter. What matters is Man United getting the result tomorrow and winning the football match, in my opinion. That is what I would say. Whether you're Eric Ten Hag in, whether you're Eric Ten Hag, whether you're out, whether you're Eric Ten Hag out, whatever it is, we have to concentrate on winning the game tomorrow. And you guys know, as Sir Alex Ferguson said, your job now is to support the new manager. It's to support the football team, I would say. You don't have to support the manager, but if you support the football team, you basically support the manager as well, ain't you? Because if we win, he wins, doesn't it? So there you go. Absolutely. Mark, sure, Malacia has to be sold. Sign Davies and then Amas a backup. Yeah, Davies is wanted by Barcelona as well, Mark, isn't it? So we're going to have to quickly. I mean, I'm a big fan of Harry Amas. I really am. I think we keep Harry Amas, sign Alphonso Davies. That wouldn't be too bad, wouldn't it? You know what I mean? And, you know, I mean, have Harry Amas as a backup. That wouldn't be too bad. And get rid of those other 2 mercenaries, of course, guys. Ciao, I know he's injured. That's why we need to question his position and management. One thing I would say, Chow, is that we are burning these players to the ground. And I did say that about young players. Young players need to be rotated because young players are notoriously inconsistent, you know, and I've been saying that for ages. And he did need to give Mainu a rest weeks ago. And I said that because not only that, Mainu has played in the European Championships as well. He hasn't had really a rest, has he, to be honest with you? And we have to remember that he is only, 19, 20 years old, and we're treating him as like a 30-year-old who's a pre-season pro at the end of the day. You know, he's still growing, and we need to be careful in regards to Kobe Mainu and the young players as well. This is what Sir Alex Ferguson used to do. Sir Alex Ferguson used to drift in players. He used to slowly drift in players here and there, in and out. Do you know what I mean? But we're burning them to the ground at the moment, and unfortunately, Mainu is injured now. It's not only to do with him; it is to do with England as well. He has played for England as well, you know. And you know what? Owen always played too much football, and you know what? I don't believe in that. I think it's quality rather than quantity, in my opinion. How many strikers do you need? Xerxes and Højlund. We need a striker in regards to basically someone who's prolific. We do need someone who's prolific. I believe in Rasmus Højlund myself. I do. Xerxes is not a striker, as I've always said, guys. If you watch football, if you understand football, Richard. Basically, he's more of a number 10, a false number 9. He's not a striker. He said it himself. He's a creative player. We've only got Højlund, who's a proper striker at the moment. Only Højlund is a proper striker. We need 26, 27-year-old striker. No more youngsters. I don't know. I don't know. He's 21, 22, full international. Scored 15 goals for his country. So I think he's a decent striker, more proven, of course. Richard, 200 million and more spent FFP wages and overpricing. Real Man United guy, Richard, you tried to change it up, mate. Not that stupid, mate. We already bought 2 young development strikers. We got Højlund and Xerxes. We have to buy a Ronaldo when he signed for Real Madrid from Man United. We already bought 2 young developing strikers. We've got Højlund and Xerxes is not a striker. Xerxes is a false number 9. There's a difference. We've only got Højlund as a proper striker. Højlund is our only striker, proper goal scorer. If you watch Xerxes and you watch his documentaries and you watch his YouTube videos, he will tell you he's not going to score 30, 40 goals a season. He's the type of player who creates more. He said it. He said it himself. Ten Hag going to have a future? It all depends, mate. It all depends on the next few results, Richard. Elman, Richard, United can try to win a cup. We need to try and do more than that. How many players will Man United going to bring in January 2005? Probably we'll get a loan signing. Where I'm going to say that we probably will get a loan left back, as I was going to bring into the show. We probably will get a loan in regards to the left back position. Manchester United are struggling in that position. And depending on what happens with Luke Shaw and Taro Malacia, Manchester United are actively looking for a left back right now. And if it is a loan, so be it. Man United do need a left-sided left back, of course, a left-sided left back one with a left foot, preferably, of course. And also, Harry Amas is believed not to be ready. I personally think he's ready, but you know what? Erik Ten Hag is not playing him. So, you know what? He obviously thinks he isn't ready. So, you know what? I'm not going to argue with Erik Ten Hag. I believe he should be getting some minutes here and there. I think he should be getting 10, 15 minutes here and there. Do you know what I mean? I do. And I feel like he's a good player. And we're missing the boat on that one. Just like we missed the boat on Fernandes, obviously of Benfica now. And you know what? He probably won't come back to Man United. Because obviously the way we treated him, we didn't give him an opportunity, especially when we didn't have left backs available. Richard is at it again, Kazi. I know Kazi. He's mad. We need Xerxes, Højlund to play Casemiro and Eriksen in the midfield. That Dollar in the left back again. I just think it's suicide just to play Amas. We're not going to play Amas though, David. And playing Amas won't be suicide if we got Dalot, De Ligt and Nietzsche next to him. It won't be a problem. In fact, it would be beneficial to us in the future. He's good enough. I watch a lot of youth football. He's good enough. And just because they're youngsters, you know what I mean? People get excited about transfers. But because they're youngsters, we downplay our youngsters. He's ready. You know what I mean? Just like Fernandes was ready when people were telling me he wasn't ready. Guys in this chat were telling me he wasn't ready. You know what I mean? But back in the summer, and you know what? I think he's ready. I think he's much more developed even than Fernandes. I think if he went to Benfica, he'll be playing. He'll be playing. If Fernandes weren't there and he went to Benfica, he'll be playing. We need to like look at that, where we come from. How did our best players of all time? People were telling me before Mainu got in the team, he's not ready, physically not ready to play in that midfield position. He's ready. No point getting Obi Martin. I know. Absolutely. We'll have to wait and see. Amas should be played against Bar. Should have played. I agree, Brian. And you know what? You don't get you get a good idea where a player is at when they play against those type of teams, don't you? Because obviously Barnsley are a physical team, but we ended up playing Collier, who's a young player, right? Collier, who's not a left back, we played him at left back. So straighten this out for me, right? We played Collier as a left back, who's not a left back, who's a young player, rather than playing a young player who is a left back at left back. It doesn't make sense. Make it make sense. Do you know what I mean? And during that game against Barnsley, if you watch the opening 20 minutes, Collier was struggling on that. Let's say, kept giving away fouls. He kept, getting exposed in that side because he's not a left back, guys. So do you know what I mean? I don't understand logic, if I'm being honest with you. You're good enough, you're old enough. Absolutely, you're good enough, you're old enough. I believe he's good enough. I do believe he's good enough. And when he plays, and when he does play, when he does eventually get into this side, you're going to see. And I'm going to say, told you, he's ready. And then you can't judge him on a few preseason games when he's playing alongside other young players. You need to judge him when he's playing alongside the likes of De Ligt, the likes of Leach, the likes of Dalot, the likes of, Casemiro and players like that. He will flourish. He's not playing with the likes of Rice Bennett, you know what I mean, and Scanlon, and you know what I mean. He's not playing with those players right now. You know what I mean. You have to mix it. It is a balance at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? It is a balance. And you know what? Giving him 20 minutes here, 15 minutes here wouldn't have done any harm. It wouldn't have done any harm to Man United. It couldn't have got any worse, to be honest with you. I do agree that we shouldn't have brought him into the team against Tottenham. I do agree we shouldn't have brought him into the team against Liverpool and teams like that. But when you get him to the Barnsleys of this world, Southampton's away, do you know what I mean? Those type of teams, we could have given him a chance, in my opinion. Rather Amas than Shaw playing. Does Luke Shaw deserve to play? At the end of the day, he likes playing for England. You know what? I guarantee you, when the World Cup comes, he's going to be miraculously fit, and he'll be playing for England again. He played for England during the Euros, played in the European Cup with the European final, of course, guys. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? This is the problem going on Man United, absolutely. I'm fed up with inverted trash. Play the players in a position and make games. Chow, you agree with me? Chow, we don't agree with everything, but I agree with that, my friend. You know what I mean? I agree with the inverted crap. That doesn't work. Playing players out of position in regards to inverted fullbacks, inverted wingers, you know what? It's less effective. The most successful teams of all time have never played with inverted wingers and inverted fullbacks. Maybe one. I'm not saying all of them. Maybe one on the right, maybe one on the left, but they've never played two in the up front. And you know why they don't play two up front? Let me tell you why. Because when you play two inverted wingers, right, for example, they're both going to cut in. You need one winger who can at least cross the ball. They can at least cross the ball, can cut in, run at his defender and cross the ball. If you've got two defenders going duk, 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 it's just predictable. And me as a defender, when I was a defender, I used to love it when players used to cut in because I knew what they're going to do. They're either going to pass wide or they're going to shoot. You know what I mean? They're not going to cross it in the box. When you get the ball and you cross the ball into the box, you fizz that ball into the box. There's no substitute for that. There's no substitute for getting that ball into the box quickly because the defenders have to predict where the ball's going to go, and the ball can go fizzing fast. It can go fast, and you know what? You have to defend well. You have to be a good defender to defend it. Especially like when the likes of Beckham were crossing those balls in with those whipped crosses in. Do you know what I mean? Yes, Giggsy used to run on the outside, but Giggsy used to also cut in. He used to do a lot. But it's all about versatility. At the moment, we're too predictable up there. And the same with the fullbacks. The problem with the fullbacks, right, is the fullbacks are more inclined to go on their natural foot unless they are a specialized fullback, unless they are specialized at left back. Like people saying Kadioglu is a right footer playing at left back, but he's a specialized left back. Specialized. Dalot is not specialized, and he doesn't play well in that position. There's a difference between playing well in that position, you know what I mean, and not playing well in that position, and being specialized and not being specialized. When you're not specialized, when you're a right footer playing at left back, you tend to cut into the midfield and create issues with the left side, and there's big gaping holes. Have we been exposed this season? We've been exposed this season with those big gaping holes, of course, guys. So at the end of the day, look, we have to have natural specialized players in the specialized positions. That's what I would say. Cree players back for tomorrow's game. Absolutely. I don't know if they'll start Kazi. Great news on Mazraoui, of course, coming back into the squad. Ugarte injury weren't as feared, which is fantastic news. And Garnacho is back for Manchester United, which is fantastic news. Of course, guys, we need the squad, don't we? We really do need our squad. And you know what? Having the players available is great. My one concern, and you're going to see it tomorrow, guys. And remember what I said on this stream right now. Brentford will attack the left-hand side, and you will see it, and it will be a struggle, but we will win the game. I've lowered my prediction, guys. I'm gonna tell you my prediction on the match preview show later on today at 2 p.m. UK time, 5 p.m. my time. 2 p.m. UK time is the Chatterbox next game match preview, guys. So don't forget to miss that. It's very interesting what I'm going to say, guys. United need 3 points on Saturday very badly. We have Fenerbahce on Thursday. We need consistency and confidence. All I hear from the other podcasters is we're going to lose. I just hope we play well. I mean, absolutely, David. Listen, I've never once said that Man United are going to lose. I've never said that. Since I've been a Man United fan for, 40 years? Do you know what I mean? I've never said Man United are going to lose. I don't do that. I don't believe in saying we're going to lose. I believe in draw or win. Mostly win. You know what I mean? If it was down to me, Man United would have won almost every game in their history. But at the end of the day, that's the way I see it. I never say we're going to lose, especially at Old Trafford. I never say that. I don't believe we should be losing at Old Trafford. I think Old Trafford should be a fortress. Old Trafford should be a fortress. Right now, it's not a fortress, but we need to make it into a fortress. That is a big part of it as well. I do believe that Old Trafford is a little bit too quiet. Of course, Roy Keane said all those years ago, prawn sandwiches brigade, didn't he? The prawn sandwiches brigade. I do think that Old Trafford needs to be a lot more intimidating. intimidating. I feel like other stadiums more intimidating. I think Emirates is more intimidating than Old Trafford at the moment. Do you know what I mean? I do think Anfield is incredibly intimidating. And Anfield, look, you know what? It's like they got 12 men when they're playing at Anfield. We need to get back to those days when we made Old Trafford into a fortress. We need to get back into those times, of course, guys. Brian, 4-1 United. I don't know if we're going to score 4 goals, Brian. That would be absolutely incredible. 4 goals for Man United. This team, who don't like crossing, who don't like assisted, you know what I mean? It's going to be difficult to score 4 goals. I wouldn't say no. I would love that, Brian. I would absolutely love that. That would be brilliant if we can have a nice win for a change. I'm not that zealous. I'm not that overzealous, guys. I'm not that going to say 4-1, but I think we'll win the game. I think we'll win the game on Saturday. I do believe we'll win the game on Saturday. I think the players will have a grip between their teeth. Of course, we see more videos of Marcus Rashford training in the stadium, of course, with another trainer. And you know what? Hopefully he turns it on tomorrow. And you know what? We need goals. We need goals. We're not scoring enough goals. We're starting to get more clean sheets. Let's be honest. We're starting to get more clean sheets, which is good. Of course, there is the odd error, but we are getting clean sheets more, which is good. So we're getting the foundations right, but we need to get the striker area right, guys, if I'm being honest. So you said 3-1. I did say 3-1. I did. I've lowered it now. I'm going to say 2-1, Brian. The reason I'm saying 2-1 is because I do believe that the players are not 100% fit. A lot of those players are going to come back a little bit groggy. I think he's going to play Eriksen and Casemiro in the midfield. And you know what? I'm going to go through my lineup later on today and tell you why I think it's going to be 2-1 to United. I hope it's 3-1, but I'm not going to say 3-1. I changed my mind because, Brian, I said 3-1 3 times in a row. Absolutely, 3 times in a row. My prediction, Kazi, is 2-1 to Man United. It is 2-1 to Man United. Man United will go 2-0 up and we'll probably concede a goal late on or during the game and we'll hold on. Man United to win the game 2-1 for me. I hope it's more. I hope it is 4-1. I hope it is 3-1. I hope it is. I do want a more comfortable experience on Saturday. We've had a few uncomfortable experiences recently, of course, doing the watch-alongs and stuff. So it'd be great if we can win that game nice and comfortably. Nice and comfy. 2 pillows, nice and comfy, of course, guys. That's what we want, of course. Absolutely. RIP Liam Payne. Yeah, RIP Liam Payne. That's this tragic news about Liam Payne, of course. One Direction, young man, a 7-year-old kid. You know what? Really sad news. But that's what you get in that industry. Do you know what I mean? It's sex, drugs, and rock and roll at the end of the day. 1-0. You're going for 1-0, Chow. That'd be nervy, wouldn't it? That'd be a nervy game, of course. 51 people watching on 4 likes, guys. Please press the like. Yeah, don't forget to press the like button, guys. It's very important for the algorithms and stuff like that. I know there's 51 of you here. I know a lot of you haven't pressed the subscribe button, guys. You regulars, don't forget to press the subscribe button. Not subscribe button, but you can if you haven't. But please press the like button as well, guys. It's very, very important, guys. We should not buy Eric Ten Hag any more players. He has already spent enough. I simply don't trust the judgment and prefer to save money. The new manager. Let the manager. This one is the Sesko thing is an Ineos thing, Mac. It's an Ineos thing. It's not him. It's an Ineos admired the player. They've been scouting the player. Ciao, just win and get 3 points. Ciao, I would love that. I would love that. And then go on to the Fenerbahce game and then we win the game, of course, guys. That is what it's all about. And you know what? Start winning some football matches and start putting a win together, a winning run. Wouldn't it be great if we went on a 5-game winning run? Wouldn't that be fantastic, guys? Wouldn't that be nice, you know what I mean, for a change going on a 5-game winning run? I would love that. It's been a while since we've gone on that type of run. I remember during Sir Alex Ferguson's period. I hate bringing it back to Sir Alex Ferguson, but it was our best period. You know what I mean? And I always believe that our past is who we are. Our past is who we are. And you can never discount our past because without our past, none of you would be Man United fans. You know, and I would say that right now, none of you would be Man United fans. It's like when your mum and dad met each other. If it weren't for your mum and dad meeting each other in the past, you wouldn't be here right now, would you? So at the end of the day, look, you know, it's not the past, it's a current fact, I say. It's a current fact that we are the European champions 3 times. It's not the past, it's a current fact that our name is on the European Cup 3 times, that we are the highest Premier League winners in England, of course, 20 times. It's a current fact. No McTominay to get us out of trouble this time. Allow McTominay, low. Goodness me. Yeah, do you remember that, though? Last minute. 2 goals in the last minute. Do you remember that? My goodness me. Hopefully it doesn't come to that, Brian. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. Hopefully we win the game nice and comfortable. As I said, 2 pillows, nice and comfy. That's what I want, guys. Absolutely. Oh my God, so it's cold here. Where are you, bath time, by the way? Where are you messaging me from? Where are you messaging me from? Eric Ten Hag has to cover to make sure he has extra cover, and on the left, make Brentford change their game plan. Have to make them make mistakes in there. But absolutely, David, you know what? And that's why if you brought Harry Amass in there, it would shock them. They'd be like, "What the hell? They've actually got a left foot on the left back." My goodness me! You know what? That's our game plan out the window. Do you know what I mean? That's what they would do. We have to be clever. You know, I would urge Eric Ten Hag to. I know he probably does. I'm not going to say he doesn't, but I would urge Eric Ten Hag to study Brentford and look at their game plan, because they do start games pretty quickly. I think they've got the record of the most early goals in the Premier League. They score in the first couple of minutes. The last time, I think they've done it 2-3 times in a row. They're absolutely crazy. So they do start games quickly, and we have to be careful. From North Wales. Oh, bath time. North Wales. Okay. Oh, yeah. I think you told me that at the end of the day. Is it cold? Is it cold? Oh, get your mittens on for this sub-zero conditions, guys. Absolutely. It's not here. It's very hot. It's very hot, guys. I'm going to the gym. As you can see, I've got my gym top on. I'm ready to go to the gym today. So, you know what? It is boiling hot. Kazi, manager needs to trust the players more. He does need to trust the young players as well, of course, guys. We only have 3 Champions League. That's not good enough if we consider the biggest club in the world. We're the biggest club in the world due to fan base. We're the biggest club in the world because of our history. It's not just about stat padding and trophies, you know, and stuff like that. We are the most successful team in England. We got the most Premier League titles. Premier League is the biggest league in the world. There you go. Put 2 and 2 together. Biggest club in the world at the end of the day. Man United are the most watched team in the world. They're the most supported team in the world alongside Real Madrid. It's very close. They're the most watched and the most supported team in the world. So, yeah, we can call ourselves the biggest team in the world, Chow. We can. At the end of the day, are we the best? No. We're not the best on the pitch at the moment. And that is because, obviously, a number of factors. But are we the biggest? Yes, we are. This is why we should aim and strive for the best. We should strive for the best, and we should strive to win titles, and we should strive to win Champions League. Champions League titles is not enough. Sir Alex Ferguson made a lot of mistakes during that. But if you look at your history, Chow, during the 90s, when we had a very, very good team, there was a foreign limit of how many foreign players you can play in the Champions League back then. So we had to leave out the likes of Kanchelskis. We had to leave out the likes of Cantona sometimes, Peter Schmeichel sometimes, even Mark Hughes, and even Dennis Irwin, and even, Ryan Giggs, because they're not English. So we had to play young players in the Champions League. So we would have won more, right? And I also feel that the 2 Champions League finals against Barcelona was an unstoppable Barcelona team. Any other time, we would have won another 2 Champions League titles, So you have to look at that. It's disappointing we haven't won more, but we won 3, you know what I mean? And hopefully eventually down the line we'll win more. You've got teams like Arsenal won none, Sorry, bath time. It's nice and warm in Cyprus. It's always warm here. Do you think Eric Ten Hag will park the bus or attack Brentford? We shouldn't play for a draw like against Villa. I think he'll attack this time. I think there's going to be a different tomorrow. I really do think he's working on something. He's cooking something. I really think Man United will perform well tomorrow. I just got this feeling, Mac. What the most important for me though is consistency. Consistency is the most important thing. United's biggest problem is that we don't have 2 specialist players in each position, absolutely, to compete for the start, to rotate and to replace during injury. We have a focus with academy and transfers. You know what? You make your own players as well. Look, you know what? Rico Lewis at Manchester City, Foden at Manchester City. They make their own players as well. Do you know what I mean? And we have to start doing that. Cole Palmer, who was at Manchester City as well. Do you know what I mean? We have to start doing that and trust the youth a little bit more, and even if you bring 2 or 3 in, get them some experience. You never know, you might save some money on transfers if they become a gem. Like Mainu, of course, became a gem, didn't he? Like Garnacho is becoming a gem, of course, guys. You know what I mean? These type of players that we brought them through, and the academy is one of the best academies, there is in regards to the class of 92, where we come from. We need to start doing that again, because we've moved away from that somewhat in regards to bringing in some players here and there. Do you know what I mean? And building up some players. Yes, we bring in transfers. Yes, we do that. But we also have to not forget about some of those youth players at the end of the day, It's all right, Brian. I'm going to turn the heat on. What's the time there now? Is it 2? Oh, yeah, 7 in the morning. That's go bath time. It's 7 in the morning in the UK. Big up UK, obviously. I should be back at Christmas, guys. United will grind their win tomorrow, I believe. I do believe that as well, Mark. I think we'll win tomorrow. I got a thing. At least it's not muggy. I spent 6 months in the Buenos Aires, and no one tells you it's basically built on a swamp. Yeah. Yeah, that's where Liam Payne died, didn't it? Forest even got 2. Arsenal, yeah, Forest. We're going to score. We're going to score some goals. Big up Sanjay. Lightmas, who is being restricted, Evans being trusted rather than him. How do you promote youth if this is what you do? I agree, Mark. This is my problem. At the end of the day, I know Johnny Evans is a good player. I know that he's not a left back, but let's pull it hypothetically speaking that he is a left back. I know that Johnny Evans, you know what, is a fantastic pro. I know that, but it has no future in it. It has no longevity in it. We need to think about the future, and by doing that, we have to think start playing players that are for the future. You know, we need to do that. Playing Johnny Evans, playing Ericsson at this time in their careers and expecting to challenge for titles is not going to work. You have to have a long-term vision, a long-term plan. And at the moment, I don't see a long-term vision and a long-term plan. I see us, as Roy Keane said the other day, I see us bringing back Maguire. I see us bringing back Lindelof. I see us bringing back Evans. I see us bringing back Ericsson. We're going back to the same thing. We're going back to the same old rubbish that it was, of course, guys, you know. And you know what? We need to think about the future, in my opinion. And you know what? He who dares wins in life. He who dares wins. And I'll say that every single day of the week. He who dares wins. Yeah, we should have bought him, and we should have been more savvy on that. Cole Palmer, we should have been more alert on Cole Palmer. Of course, Manchester United fan. Of course, we missed that trip on that one. Obviously, very, very good player. One of the best young players in Europe, I say. The way he took that goal in the European Championship final was absolutely incredible. I was in Italy at that time. They couldn't believe it. Who is this player? Cole Palmer. I said, I told you, this guy's going to be a star. This guy's going to be a star. Now he's at Chelsea. You know, he's not a proper club, is it, Chelsea? You know what? He should have been at Man United at the end of the day. And if he's a Man United fan, he should have been at our academy. You know what I mean? But knowing us, we probably wouldn't play him. We'd probably say, he's too skinny. He's too weak. You know, he's not ready. We're like that, ain't we? We rather play Bruno, who's not performing at all. Or, you know, we rather play Luke Shaw, you know, who's been injured loads of times and plays when he wants to. Do you know what I mean? I'm Luke Shaw. I play when I want. I play when I want. I play when I want. I'm Luke Shaw. I play when I want. That's what that is a Luke Shaw chant, of course, guys. That is a Luke Shaw chant. Absolutely. No copyright, guys. No copyright. Absolutely not. What happened to the Ineos? A best in class. Bringing back Maguire and Johnny Evans isn't the best in class. They've got. I agree, Almac. I agree with you, my friend. At the end of the day, look, I don't want to. You know what? These players are good pros. I don't deny that they're good pros, but it's not forward thinking. We need to think more forward. You know what? If Eric Ten Hag came out tomorrow and I see Harry Amas and I see Collier and I see these players, I think, do you know what? It's dodgy, it's dangerous, but at least he's thinking about the future. I'll be like that. At least he's thinking about the future. He's not just playing Evans because he's old and Maguire because he's older. He's not playing Ericsson because he's old. He's playing Collier instead of Ericsson. You know, he's playing Collier and Casemiro. But we know the predictable thing, don't we? We know it's going to be Ericsson and Casemiro, don't we, tomorrow? So, we need to think about that. Apparently, after seeing the film Blade, there were vampires have a party with blood sprinklers. Luke Shaw said custard sprinklers in her. Oh, no, that's an insult. That's an insult, bath time. You are so bad. My God. At the end of the day, you know what? There are vampires, right? There's energy-sucking vampires as well. Do you know vampires? Have you ever met an energy-sucking vampire? You know those vampires who just sit down and talk to you and suck all your energy out. You know, I've been in that situation before. Do you know, speaking of vampires, if we're going to go into that realm, of course, guys. But yeah, Luke Shaw plays when he wants. He's Luke Shaw. He plays when he wants. He plays when he wants. He plays when he wants. He's Luke Shaw. He plays when he wants. Absolutely. Sal is uncopyrightable. I'm uncopyrightable. I'm a ghostwriter, mate. If I told you who I've ghostwritten for, you wouldn't even believe me who I've ghostwritten for, mate. I've ghostwritten some great songs, mate. Absolutely. You wouldn't even believe. Fergie always had a HD had 2 or 3 players in each position. Yep, and the players the same effects on the players going forward. We need a good rebuild. Players should start playing for the position. Else, he had them, yeah, but he also believed in youth, didn't he? He also done himself a favor, didn't he? So he had 2 or 3 players. At least one of them was a youth player. You know, if not, it was an unknown player that you haven't heard from South America or somewhere else. You know what I mean? He used to do that, didn't he? He used to scout talent, and he also used to bring through talent. Yes, we have our main player, but you know what? I think the best squad we really had was probably 2007, 2008, you know, when we had obviously all those players, but a lot of those players are still class of 92, weren't they? But up front, we had Tevez, we had Ronaldo, and we had Rooney, of course, guys. And Rooney, I posted something on Twitter today in regards to Rooney, talking about when he walked into Sir Alex Ferguson's office when Ronaldo was sold. And he said, we have just sold Ronaldo and Tevez. And he went into the Sir Alex Ferguson's dressing room, Sir Alex Ferguson's office, and he said, oh, boss, what's going on? We've sold Tevez, we sold Ronaldo. What are we doing? Who's replacing them? Because at that time, when we sold Tevez and Ronaldo, we brought in obviously Obertan and Smalling and Phil Jones, you know what I mean? And that started to show me where the Glazers' mentality was. It was then that the Glazers started to show their ugly head, of course. And Rooney wanted to leave during that period because he felt that Sir Alex Ferguson is going for another 5-year plan. And at that time in Rooney's career, he didn't want to do another 5-year plan. That contract he was going to sign was going to be his last contract. And of course, we declined, didn't we? After that, we sort of started to decline. Even when we won the championship in 2013, we weren't playing great football, right? We sort of scraped out the results. You know, I remember us being down against Southampton, coming back to win the game, of course, guys. There were many games like that during that season. And we didn't play great football. We were rescued, of course, by Robin Van Persie. It was fantastic. What a signing that was at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? And, you know, we weren't playing great football. And then when the Glazers started to show their ugly head, of course, guys, and when Sir Alex Ferguson left, who was the guy keeping us up at the end of the day, regardless of the sales and stuff like that, you know what? If we kept Ronaldo, if we kept Tevez and all these players, you know what? We were run badly back then because we did promise Tevez a contract, you know, and we didn't give it. You know, and we would have won more trophies. We probably would have won the Champions League at least once against Barcelona. You know, I do think that the tactics against Barcelona were naive in the Champions League final. I do believe that. I believe playing Ryan Giggs in the middle of the park. You know, I mean, Fletcher was a miss. He got suspended, of course, on the second game. But yeah, we were naive in both of those games, in my opinion. We should have went defensive and counter-attack in that particular game. Have you got any ghost stories, Sal? Yes, I've got many. I lived with ghosts in Leighton, East London. Let me give you the story, right? Bath time. I'll give you a story about ghosts, right? I used to play football in my garden. And when I was about 10, 11, there was a next door neighbor, right? The house was derelict. The house was derelict, my next door neighbor. So I kicked the ball over the fence. So I squeezed through a little gap in the fence to get the ball because no one lived there anyway. And when I looked to my left, there was a lady sitting there, a young lady dressed in like, you know, the hat and all this old fashioned clothes. She had an umbrella and a book. And I looked at her, I said, "Oh, I'm sorry. And she looks at me and goes, "That's okay." And then I got the ball and I brought it back in, you know. I went back inside. I spoke to my mum and I said, "Mum, who's that lady who lives next door? What's going on?" You know, and she would say, "There's no one living next door. No one's lived next door for ages. Her place is derelict. It's derelict. No one lives there, you know." And the front door was boarded up. It was boarded up. So that's one. Another thing, I had a ghost in my house. I had one in my house, one in the attic. Used to do footsteps every 3 o'clock in the morning. Mirror used to shake and stuff like that. Yeah. When I used to do music, I used to have a studio in my basement. So I used to have a recording studio in my basement when I used to live in Leighton in East London. And people used to come down the studio all the time. I've had a lot of great people in my studio, great people, guys. You know what I mean? And, you know what I mean? From the Outlaws of Tupac's Outlaws, from Amy Winehouse to people I've had in my house, right? And you know what? People used to do devil rituals and stuff, you know, like with their devil ritual pad. They used to do that before they used to go in the booth and spit some lyrics. They used to do that. I've got lots of stories, guys, I'll be bringing some on my membership videos, guys, coming very, very soon. So I've got a lot of stories with regards to the ghost videos and stuff. My house was incredibly haunted in Leighton, unfortunately. And you know what? I used to have orbs and stuff like that. And, you know, it was a crazy thing. Doors would open by themselves. I remember my mum calling me on the phone, like, you know, when I was out and saying, "Sal, could you come home? Could you come home?" I said, "What's the problem?" He goes, someone's upstairs. And you know what? When she said that, all the hangers she was ironing and the hangers were starting to move, the hangers and stuff by themselves. And there used to always hear people jumping up and down on the bed, like upstairs and stuff. Yeah, loads. I've got loads. If you don't believe in it, you know what I mean? There's lots of things, trust me, that in the music industry. I go, Man United are the best, Richard. Remember, guys, I'm Jim trying to buy Barcelona fouled, for Chelsea fouled, and he is a Chelsea season ticket holder, absolutely. And live in a non-tax country. He told us, guys, yeah, he's not perfect, Chow. You know what? People were jumping on a guitar, of course, guys, back then. You know what I mean? And you know what? Thinking that basically Jim Ratcliffe is perfect. You know what I mean? He's not. You know, and you know what Man United fan has a Chelsea season ticket holder? He's a billionaire. If he wanted to go and see the odd Chelsea game, he could do that anyway. He's a billionaire. Why would he buy a season ticket? That's one thing I would say. You know, why hasn't he got a Man United season ticket? That's one thing I would say. Man United fan. One of the first things, you know what? I would renew my season ticket if I became a billionaire straight away. One of the first things I'd do if I lived in England, of course, I would do it anyway. Even if I lived there, I'd fly. If I was a billionaire, I'd be flying back and forth there every single week. I am going with 2-1 United. Me too, Kenny. You're same as me. You should have put her in goal. It's spooky when you think about it. It's spooky, but you know what? Back at my back garden, bath time. My back garden was a club called Leyton Orient. Leyton Orient are League One right now, right? And it used to be Leyton Orient, and there used to be a floodlight in my garden, literally in my garden at Leyton Orient, right? I used to watch football from my bedroom, just watching them. I've seen great players, you know what I mean, from my bedroom, you know. And during about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, in the old days, you used to have them things, you know, them things that go in the football ground, right? Every now and then you hear that in Leyton Orient, and you hear, "Come on, you O's," which is O's is Leyton Orient. And you'll hear that, and you'll be like 3 o'clock in the morning. You'll be like, "What?" Yeah, mad. Trust me, mad things happen in East London. It's the ley lines. It's the ley lines. That's what's called Leyton. David, from 2013, the board neglected our team. There were nobody to fight the Glazers, buying world-class players. They just bought to fill in the gap. We are suffering from the experience of running the club. They neglected our club way before that, my friend. When they sold Ronaldo, when they sold Tevez, and bought in Obertan, and bought in Michael Owen, and bought in Smalling and players like that. Do you know what I mean? They neglected our club from way back then. And Wayne Rooney said it. You know, that is when the actual they started to show their ugly face. Of course, yeah, they used to do read devil rituals, mate. Yeah, that's what the music industry is. Bath time, they did. Yeah, and I used to kick them out. Yeah, because I'm a godly person. Then what? Sal woke up low. No. Truth. So are you a billionaire? No, I'm not a billionaire, Richard. So how many wives and girls? I have one wife, and that's all I need. Thank you very much. I have one beautiful wife. What was your best job, Sal? My best job, to this day, it's been doing my music. Independently, having my own record label. It was fantastic. That was my best times in regards to work. I worked in hospitals. I've done things. I worked in hospitals. I worked in bakeries. I worked in fishmongers. I've done a lot of jobs. And you know, I worked I worked behind the scenes at the WWE. You know, I've done things like that, you know, and I loved all those jobs, you know, I loved all it. But I would always say being creative, working with amazing people, it was a brilliant time, you know, and I will never forget that, you know, and it is always great to be creative and working with your own design. You imagine starting something, imagine being a ghostwriter, writing a song and you see it in the charts. Or imagine managing your brother who's an artist and he becomes, you know, you see him on national TV. That sort of thing is just the most beautiful thing you can do, you know, and I think we all have the ability to do that. It's all a mindset at the end of the day. We all have the ability to create history regardless of who we are. You know, Leicester City proved that, didn't they? At the end of the day, that's why I always believe, you know what, it's never far-fetched to say that we can win the league. You know, it's never far-fetched to say that. You know, it's up to a mentality. It's up here. And when Eric Ten Hag said, you know what, we're not ready, you know, we're not good enough, that doesn't fit well with me. Because at the end of the day, I believe anything is possible. Anything is possible. At the end of the day, 11 against 11, you spent that much money, you should be challenged for the league, in my opinion. And I do believe that, you know what I mean? And I think Man United should be. Sorry, Jib, not Jab. The jibbing into a match. Not sure you mean there, mate. So are you born in Salford? Nope. I'm born in Leytonstone, East London, like David Beckham. Without David Beckham, no treble. Mark Elman, it looks like we will be playing Casemiro, Eriksen and Bruno in midfield tomorrow. It does look that way, Mark, if I'm being honest with you, my friend, if I'm being totally frank. Have you worked with Biggie Smalls and Tupac? No, I haven't worked with Biggie Smalls and Tupac. I'm too young. I've met Tupac when I was 16. I lived in Los Angeles for 2 years, guys. At the end of the day, I met Puck. I've worked with the Outlaws. I've worked with the Outlaws recently, 2009 and beyond. I worked with the Outlaws. I worked with D12, Eminem's group. I've recorded a song with the, Eminem, my brother has. I've actually got stories to tell you about that. Actually, I've got a lot of stories to tell you, be on the membership videos and stuff. I've managed people like the Sugar Babes. I worked with Amel Berrabaz, who's had #1 hits. I've worked with, Sway and Akon and you name it, guys. Lady Gaga, I've been there in the studio with her, ghostwriting and stuff. I shouldn't really say that, but, there you go. And I've done a lot of things, guys, in my life. Crazy things. If you worked in a hospital and a bakery, you must have bumped into Luke Shaw. You got it there, mate. Absolutely. Law of averages. Law of averages. I probably did bump into him, isn't it? I probably did. You know what I mean? He probably had his cast on. He had his cast on with his leg up with a bakery. I go, here, Luke. I've been working in the bakery all day. You know what I mean? But I'm doing my second job in the hospital. I bought your croissant, chocolate one, custard one. Hope you didn't work with Diddy. I didn't work with him. I never liked him. I was in Tupac's camp, mate. I was in that camp. I was in the West Coast sort of thing. I was with the Outlaws and Snoop Dogg and all them lot. I wasn't with Diddy, and we didn't like him. I didn't like him. I was 15, 16 years old, and I was working on music and stuff like that. I remember being in the back of the car. There was no room in the car, right? In Los Angeles, there was no room in the car. There was no room, and I used to sit in the bloody trunk. In those trunks. In the back, right? And I would be sitting there like that. It was an open pan one. It wasn't one closed, guys. You know what I mean? It's not kidnapping. But I'll be there, an open pan one. I'd be laying there, and there'd be a big speaker on my ear, and the music would be pumping. And you know what? I've been there'll be people like Snoop in the car. There'll be people like the Outlaws in the car. There'll be people like that. It was brilliant, guys. Look, you know what? On my membership video next week, I'm gonna do something. I'll show you some pictures as well. I've got a lot of paper pictures and everything like that, guys. Some great things, of course. I think our defenders are going to surprise everybody on Saturday. I'm going for a 3-0 Garnacho, Xerxes, and Rashford to score. Let's have faith. That's in my heart. My brain knows it's going to be tough. I hope so. 3-0 will be a fabulous result for Man United. Absolutely brilliant result for Man United. If we won 3-0, fair play. You know what I mean? I don't know, but I really hope so. I really hope so. Do you know who shot Tim Westwood? No. Although I know Tim Westwood, as people know me, they know I know Tim Westwood. Me and Tim... at the end of the day, let me just get this for you guys. So basically, if I do this, bear with me a second. I'm just writing this down. So if I get this, and then I'll send it to you. Like, I got lots of pictures, mate. I got lots of pictures and stuff in regards to my past and everything like that. And I'll show you some now if you want. I'll show you some now. I'll show you some pictures and stuff like that. Hopefully, I will meet you in LA in the future. I hope so. I'll tell you a story about LA. Last time I was in LA, I was in Orange County, and I remember TQ is a West Coast singer. Right, and he had a song called West Side, and we were filming a video over there, and the police came, and they put him on the floor. They arrested him. You know what I mean? They thought some hip hop dudes in this really posh neighborhood. What are these hip hop dudes doing there? And they arrested him. And then the police came into the house. We were shooting a music video in the house, and the police came in the house, and they were walking around like this, right? They were walking around like this, and then they basically, I was like, please don't speak to us. We've got a British accent. You're going to see our bait British accent, mate. Do you know what I mean? I didn't want them to hear my British accent. So, you know what? Luckily, they didn't come to us. And luckily, you know what? They let go of TQ. Obviously, we needed TQ for the song, guys. We needed TQ for the song, But when I do my membership videos, guys, I'm going to tell you some great stories in regards to the stories that I've witnessed and stuff like that. Back in the day and everything, I have witnessed a lot of things, guys, and I will do that. I'm going to bring up something real quick, guys. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll bring up, if I can find it, of course, if I can find the bloody thing. Let me have a look. If I can actually find the thing. Yeah. Two. Yeah, so let me just do this. So I'll go here, add overlay. Let's have a look at this. Don't know where it's gone. I'm gonna get it up for you guys. I'll get it up for you guys real soon. Just bear me a second. If I can find the goddamn thing. Well, I'm gonna come back to it, guys. Yeah, if you look at me, add me on Facebook and add me on those channels, you'll see that you know my pictures and everything like that. But I've got a couple of pictures that I want to bring in and everything like that I'm going to show you. Obviously, I've got a lot of past experiences and stuff like that in regards to my music and people I've met, and I've got a lot of stories to tell you guys. I've got a lot of stories to tell. So on my membership videos, I'm going to bring in some great stories for you guys. It'll be you'll be surprised. I've got a story about Eminem. I've got a big story about Eminem, of course, guys. To tell you as well. You'll be shocked. You'll definitely be shocked, guys, when I tell you it. Absolutely. Let's go back to the comments. I think I read that one. I think I read that. Up to bath time. I've got a photo of myself and James Milner, Gareth Barry, and Henry Hilton Towers in a roller coaster car behind me, and the numerous of bloody hell. They were the most average players I've ever seen in my life. Goodness me. I mean, James Milner did okay. He had a good career, to be honest. Gareth Barry was overrated. He had a lot of appearances, but he was definitely overrated, guys, in my opinion. Absolutely overrated. He got opportunities just for, you know what I mean, his position and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? And everything like that. I don't know why my pictures are not coming up, to be honest with you. I want to have a look at this. I want to have a look at this if I may. If I may have a look, upload a picture. If I can find, if it will upload for me, that would be nice. Yeah, it's not uploading, unfortunately. Fortunately, it's not uploading. Stranger things have happened. Absolutely weird. Yeah, guys. So, guys, it's been a brilliant show so far. I'm really looking forward to the game tomorrow. Don't forget, I've got the not the watch along, but I've got the match preview later on today on Chatterbox, guys. So don't forget that later on today is the match preview. I'll be going through what I think Erik ten Hag's team will be, and basically where I think we could be unstuck and where I think we can thrive. Basically, what's your lineup against Brentford? I'm going to give it to you. I'll give you my lineup. My lineup is Harry Amas, left back, Leacher, left centre back, De Ligt, right centre back, right back, Dalot, Mainu's out, so I'll say Casemiro. Ugarte's fit, so I'll play him. Ugarte and Casemiro, double pivot. I'll play Xerxes as the number 10. Left midfield will be Garnacho. Right midfield will be Ahmad. Up front will be Højlund. That's what I would do. But he won't do that. Maybe overrated, but Milner, Barry, and actually, I have the respect for just how they kept going top left. Yeah, but they're old school, isn't it, Bath time? They're old school. Do you know what I mean? They appreciate it. They come from that generation. Do you know what I mean? Not Gen X and Gen Z, not Gen Z. They were actually millennials, like, you know what I mean, from back in the 80s and 70s and what's it called? Late bloomers or whatever they're called, obviously. So, I mean, after 1989, if you were born after 1989, that's when the generation started to change somewhat and the effort levels started to go a little bit, you know, more mercenary and stuff. Sorry for those guys. I think Ineos, if they are ruthless and want to change the dynamic of our team, they should fire all the medical team because same things happening every season, injuries. I agree, Afro Soup. You know what? This has been going on for years now, and this needs to be looked at. If Ineos haven't looked at this stat by now, I would be incredibly shocked if they haven't looked at this because they're meant to be changing the whole culture of the football club at the end of the day. And if they haven't looked at this and studied this, then, you know, I don't know what they're doing, if I'm being totally honest with you. Onana, Mazuri, De Ligt, Leacher, Dalot, Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno, Ahmad, Højlund, Rashford. I'm not sure about Eriksen anymore. I'm not really sure about him, if I'm being honest with you. Bruno, I'm not sure about, but I think Bruno needs to be dropped. I do. You know, I wouldn't do that team myself. That's not the team I'll pick. And I won't pick Rashford either. I'll pick Garnacho. You know, we're just doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. It's not going to work. Amas should play. Dalot should play left back. Most of our goals have come from the left back position. Yeah, that is Erik ten Hag. Sorry, Mark. If that's Erik ten Hag's lineup, I agree with you. That's going to be his lineup. I agree with you. Absolutely, I do agree with you. If you think that's going to be his lineup, I think it would probably be something along those lines, and it'd be very, very disappointing. I'm going to give you my lineup later on today on my match preview. Don't miss the match preview, the Brentford match preview, guys. Very important you tune in for that. Guys. Absolutely, very important you tune into the match preview, guys. If you can do that for me, that would be brilliant. About 2 p.m. UK time, guys. 2 p.m. UK time. Let me just do this. Yeah, Yeah, 2 p.m. UK time, guys. So don't forget to join me for that. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to go through Brentford's team as well. I'm going to go through and tell you their danger men, of course, because they've got a couple in there that could cause us problems. Let's read this comment. Have a great day, everyone. Have a great day, ciao. Enjoy yourself and have a fantastic morning. Of course, it is very early in the morning in LA. What's the time in LA right now? Must be very, very early, my friend. Very, very early. Very early in the morning. Guys, thanks so much for joining me. It's been a fantastic show. Mine will be Onana, Amas, Licha, Delit, Dalot, Casemiro, Ericsson, Xerxes, Ahmed, Højlund, Garnacho. Yeah. I'm not sure about Ericsson. I think it's going to be too open. It'd be too open. I will play the double pivot. Ugarte's fit, apparently. So I'll play the double pivot with Ugarte and Casemiro. Ericsson is finished. Ericsson's too slow, in my opinion. I don't think he should be playing for Man United anymore. Honestly, in all due respect to Ericsson. Big up all the chat. Big up everyone, of course, here. Thursday night, 11:55 p.m. Wow, it's almost midnight. Goodness me. Hey, Namibia, big up Namibia. Crew, Mark, big up yourself, brother. Thank you so much for joining me today. Brian, I'll be back later on for Chatterbox. Don't forget, lots of stuff coming up. Lots of stuff. Cheers, Sal. Big up. Ugarte Victor, I'm sure. Fit up playing for sure. Yeah, I'll play Ugarte and Casemiro in the midfield. I'll play a double pivot and I'll play Xerxes at the number 10 behind Højlund. I think we're just doing the same thing over and over again, guys, and just expecting different results. You know, I think Eric Ten Hag needs to change it up a little bit. Be interesting. Change it up a little bit, you know? And that's what I would say to Eric Ten Hag, if I'm being totally honest with you guys. Yeah. So, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Fantastic. I'll see you later on for Chatterbox. Have a fantastic day. And remember, glory, glory, Man United. Keep the positivity, support your football club, and let's do this, guys. A win for tomorrow. And don't forget to join me later on for the match preview between Brentford and United. Very, very insightful. And also, don't forget to subscribe if you're new. I've got 58 people watching me right now. Guys, I should get at least a few subscribers, guys. Come on, guys. Subscribe. Push the subscribe button. Smash the subscribe button. And don't forget to smash a like on the way out, guys. If you could do that, guys, that'd be absolutely fine. It helps the video a lot. And it helps the progression of the channel and the popularity of the channel. So, guys, thank you so much. You're absolute legends. Much respect. Take it easy. Peace.